The fact that political parties are central in terms of elections are actually saying Kenya underestimate the power of a political party. And majority of Kenyans do not actually put the correct value on a political party. To just put it in context, in the last general election, we had 16,100 candidates, almost close to 12,000 candidates in the ballot papers came from political parties. They are the political parties that organized themselves and nominated candidates to put in elections. Therefore, the debate of the centrality of a political party being involved properly in who then manage election, it is very important. But then we have also to put it in context that there are so many political parties in Kenya. Currently, we have 92 political parties that are fully registered. We have about 11 or so that have provisional registration. We have close to 50 others that are in the process of registering, hoping that some of them may see the light of day before the elections. And a political party, anybody registering a political party must have registered by September of next year, because after that's when we start declaring election period by parties being asked to bring nomination rules, to bring their constitution, to look at their infrastructure in preparation for elections. So therefore, there are so many political parties in other words. So when you are putting into context, and where I agree that the political party is very central, the one milestone I want to celebrate is the fact that in the select committee of IBC, courtesy of the amendment to the IBC Act, we brought on board almost 5 out of 9 people coming from political party engineered. We had from majority, minority, and also we had PPLC and PPLC had 3, we had a minority side and majority side. That makes 5, meaning that Kenya slowly by slowly is realizing the centrality of a political party in the process, because you cannot run a process without involving the owners. And the owners here are the political party, because they have the people who are bringing people on board. But then that calls for us to look at the constitution. Unfortunately for us, the constitution categorically says that there shall be an independent commission, IBC, and it prescribe the manner in which that commission will come on board. And I totally agree that we really need to look at the political party arrangement, and to me, especially the coalitions. During the Political Parties Act is clear that they are pre-election coalition and they are post-election coalition. As a regulator, I am starting to question whether we really need a pre-election coalition, or probably we may need to change the law. We just have the post-election coalition, because the pre-election coalitions are made immediately after election. People start clamoring to want to move from the coalition that they had joined. And all of you have witnessed that pull and push about who is in which coalition. And then when we are talking about even majority, minority, and all that. So my question is, as a country, do you really want pre-election coalition, or we just need to go to elections? Once we are done, then we come and form coalition government, and then we put threshold on how a government should be made, and the absolute majority then take the rule, the coalition take the rule, and we have the coalition forming. If you look at the countries in Europe which have coalitions as their models of operation, you are going to see that they do go to elections, and they come later to make the coalition, and then they negotiate. At that negotiation, the negotiations are binding. So that when you form a government, it becomes easier now to run the government, and you have agreed who holds what and where, so that the country settles faster after the elections, because we now have a framework of negotiation, and you have already said this is how we are going to operate. So my first thinking looking at the scenario for the last 3 elections that have been in elections, about 16 years or so, I've seen the pre-election coalition always get disturbed post-election, and the majority of those coalition die a natural death. So my probably a question I'm putting to the reasoners here is that whether we want to really look at the pre-election coalition, or even if we make them, then we make them from a perspective that they expire on election day. Once elections has been announced, those pre-election coalition expires, and then we come again, start making coalition government now in a sober, having seen the results, having known who have won what and which seats have been won, then people can come together and form coalition so that we become more intentional, and we save a lot of time when a government of election after an election will form. The second point, as I come to conclusion, so that I give other people a chance, we actually need, to me, the game changer for our country is looking at the electoral system. Probably, we may need to have a significant part of our election being a PL system, where political parties have a say, and you are actually just voting for a list, and after that we are able to come together so that the question of equity and inclusivity, when now we are forming, become easier, because once a person have been directly elected, not through the party list of elections or of political parties, it become impossible for you to start negotiating with that person, because he has actually getting power from the people directly. I don't know what we are going to do, but that is very important, because some of it, of the winner take it all, which is affecting our country majority of the time, is because there's no room for inclusivity. And probably that inclusivity should actually be through the coalitions that are formed, and they are well guided after elections, so that we are able to do that. The final point is when we compare the South African model and ours, which Honorable Karuma has alluded to. We look at how they register their political parties. They register their political parties very easily. You just have to just have the minimum proposals, and you come within a month, you have registered a political party. And after elections, if you gain nothing, either you have zero elected person, or you have not gained any significant vote, there's a threshold for those votes, then you start registered, so that next time you come and register another political party, so that we don't have a register that has so many political parties, and those political parties probably they have not been able to meet the threshold, and the registration become an impossibility, especially on the part of the regulator. They will take you to court. You are going to try as much as possible to call them to order, but those parties probably majority of them may not have enough funds. They are not being funded, and then how do we maintain them? And without really trying to capture democracy, so that there's a democratic process, so that they can register as many, but then the value of it is evaluated after every election. That is my initial take.